Kimi K3 just launched with 2.8 trillion total parameters, a 1 million token context window, and some extremely ambiguous claims about coding, agents, and game creation. I started testing it by building a game, and I already have a rough but playable version. It definitely doesn't look amazing yet, so I'm not going to pretend I recreated Moonshot's polished demo, but the fact that it's still playable is very interesting. The bigger question is whether a model this massive actually matters for normal AI users. This is just an early first look, not a full review or benchmark. First, we need to talk about that 2.8 trillion number because it's very easy to misunderstand. That is K3's total model size. It does not mean all 2.8 trillion parameters are active every time the model generates a token. K3 uses something called mixture of experts design. The easiest way to picture it is that the model has hundreds of specialized sections, but each piece of the work is routed through only a small group. Moonshot says K3 effectively activates 16 of 896 experts during inference. So yes, K3 is enormous. But size alone does not tell you whether it'll be better, faster, cheaper, or more reliable for your specific task. What makes K3 more interesting is what Moonshot actually built it to do. It's aimed at long coding sessions, large code bases, deeper reasoning, knowledge work, and agent-style tasks that can last for many steps. It also has native visual understanding, so it can work with images and video. And it has a 1 million token context window for handling much larger projects. That is why builders are paying attention. Moonshot is positioning K3 as a model for completing complicated work, not just answering quick questions. So what happened when I tried it for my own game? I gave Kimi a game idea, and now I have a version that launches, responds, and is genuinely playable. The visuals are still rough, and there are things that I need to fix before I call it a real game. So this does not prove that one prompt magically gives you a polished 3D game. What this does show is that K3 helped turn an idea into a functioning prototype that I can continue to work on. That is promising, but it's still an early result, not a full review. Here's the reality check. Moonshot says K3 reached frontier-level results across its own evaluation suite. The company also openly says that K3's overall performance still trails behind Claude Fable 5 and GPT 5.6 Sol. I actually appreciate that honesty. A massive parameter count does not automatically make a model the best. The fair takeaway is that K3 looks seriously competitive and deserves real testing. It's not an automatic winner. So, should you care about Kimi K3 today? If you are coding, experimenting with agents, working with visual inputs, or building larger projects, K3 is absolutely worth paying attention to. If you mostly use AI for everyday questions, writing, or occasional research, there is no reason to abandon the tools you already are using. My first impression is that K3 is a genuinely interesting launch, and getting a playable prototype for my early game attempt makes me want to keep testing it. But I have not finished the game, I have not run a controlled comparison, and I am not calling K3 the best model. Scale earns attention. Fit earns the switch. Kimi K3 looks promising, but the headline is not the verdict. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to Jacob Labs for more content.